So I didn't want to leave the milk in my classroom for the weekend for that project because I just didn't want it to get all stinky. So I've just actually left it in my backyard because I didn't get around to trying to evaporate it, but I came up with this way of trying to make it work. A lantern, and it's going to be a very slow process of evaporation, but I have a candle and I built up the little platform out of some weights from a ankle weight set, and I just am going to leave that sitting for a few hours and see what happens. So right now I'm not sure what time it is, but I'll mark time, I guess. I think it's, hold on, yeah, I'll tell you later on what time I started. Okay, this has been sitting in my backyard. I guess we poured this milk on a Friday. Saturday went through, and I didn't want to leave this milk glass in my classroom. It's 10:08 in the morning on a Sunday, so I set this up using a set of iron weights to make the platform at the right height where I am not burning or like overheating the glass. But it's gonna be out here for a few hours, and I'm gonna check on it every hour or so to see whether or not I've evaporated any of this liquid. And the goal is to see whether or not, or how much calcium is left behind in the glass in the process, how much solute is left behind in the solvent for my students to explore. They hypothesized, and 1/3 of the class, or about 11 kids, said that the entire amount of liquid would evaporate. So we will see. Okay, like I said, I'm running a kind of experiment where I created my own little candle crucible, and it's now 10:45. But you'll notice that the solute at the base here is starting to separate in solution from the solvent. We've got some evaporation, I believe, but maybe only 2 to 3 millimeters of separation right there, because you can see where there was that mark of calcium at the edge of whatever the meniscus might have been, and then it's kind of lowering. But you can see everything start to separate here because of that clear liquid at the bottom. And you see it's not that much, distance between the flame and the glass right there. So yeah, I won't touch it right here. It's not that hot either, but it's hot enough at the bottom to start creating this kind of movement of materials. Alright, it's 11:29 now, so it's about 45 minutes later, and my candle is getting a really bad situation here. It's not holding up well, but it has at least continued to put heat on the milk, and you'll see that there is something in solution that is coagulating, falling out of solution. There has been some evaporation, added evaporation. As you can see, these lines over here are starting to become greater, maybe, or maybe most of the energy is being applied toward the separation of the solute from the liquid. Again, my students hypothesized, 11 of them said that the entire milk would just evaporate and it'd be a clean glass again, and 19 of my students figured, well, if we evaporate the liquid, then there'll be some form of calcium or minerals left behind. So this is what we're trying to figure out now, and I'm going to keep doing this throughout the day, just videoing this throughout the day. It's still 11:30 or 11:31. I haven't left it, but I was touching it, and the glass is very hot. I'm actually surprised there isn't more evaporation, perhaps because the liquid inside the glass has not reached an evaporation or like boiling point to boil off the water, but still I would expect a little bit more faster of an evaporation, right? Since the glass feels really hot right here to the touch. But anyways, actually at 12:03 it appears that it has gone down about a centimeter actually, because there's that top layer and then this foam over here all the way down to this line. That's about a centimeter. So it is accelerating the evaporative process, having that candle under there. It's 12:57 and we're down to about a centimeter and a half of evaporation, as you see there, based on the little lines that are being left behind. Seems to be more coagulation of the solvent within the solution, and I'm adding some more heat in there, trying to create a furnace type of situation. Even though it's not directly underneath the glass, I figured to add a little bit of boost to it because that single flame is taking forever. And I might just, because it's a hot day or a sunny day, put this somewhere more in the sunlight, maybe even just on the ground here. That might help. Maybe. So we'll see. I decided to move it to a really sunny spot of my backyard, so still seeing how it works out. There's actually 3 flames in there right now, and yeah, it's still 12:45-ish. Correct that upon moving this to this new location, it is actually 12:59, not 12:45. Thank you. Alright. Okay, I still got my glass here. It's about 2:43, and it's about 2 centimeters down from where it was at the top. This is all, the liquid top is right here now, and you can see the solute starting to really clump up. I mean really clump up now. Amazingly, all 3 candles are still active, but one of them's almost like a swimming pool at the bottom. But you know, it's kind of doing what it's expected to do. So glass is still very hot in there, and it's also in the blazing heat of the sun. So it's been moving expectedly. I haven't been overheating it by boiling it. I was just letting it slowly evaporate. So this is kind of what would happen if you had a situation where you just let it sit for a while. But I didn't want it to start spoiling or anything. So that's why I wanted to kind of accelerate the process. But yeah, it's looking clumpy. Increased the amount of flame underneath because I wanted to try to get this thing to evaporate faster. So there's now 5 candles, or 4 tea lights in one of the original green candle, and I want to see if I can accelerate the amount of evaporation going on. Alright, it's 9:28 p.m. of the next day. Look at how much liquid is left, but look at the clump of stuff that's in there. 9:28 p.m. that is. So I think I need to run a couple more tea lights underneath this thing and see if I could evaporate the rest of it before it starts getting real stinky, I guess. I want to dehydrate most of it. Alrighty, let's do this. Okay, this is the evening, and like I said, I'm gonna run 3 more tea lights and try to get that last bit of moisture out. But it's gonna be a cold night, or maybe a warm night, I don't know. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Glowing milk candle. And this is the final result of my experiment. It was baking all night. I guess it overcooked a little bit, but better to be drier than wet. So it appears the result of the experiment, using 1 school or 8 ounces of milk, this is how much is actually in 8 ounces of milk that gets added to your body as nutrition. This is the solute, and the solvent has already been all evaporated, slow evaporated. It doesn't smell bad. It smells like milk candy. There you go, and there you have it. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe.